So did you have chances against Tom?
I did, and it was my break that really let me down. I've been having a bit of a crisis of confidence on my break lately. I don't know what's changed, but it's just not happening. And when you're playing someone like Tom and your break's not working, it's just massive.
Absolutely, and like the guys were saying earlier, to clinch that number 1 spot is looking very ominous now that Tom Cousins is going to.
It's looking that way. I mean, I was hoping if I can get on top of him early, the pressure of that number 1 race might affect his performance, but unfortunately, I didn't really give him a game.
Well, an early little tester for Rayburn. Wiped his feet first, Matt.
Wiped his feet, yeah, but the Reds are looking lovely already, aren't they?
Yeah, you wouldn't expect any catastrophes to present themselves in front of Neil Rayburn here. I watched a little bit of Dylan Leary yesterday when he was playing. He was 4-0 up against Luke Vokes.
Yes, saw some of that.
And I went and sat in the crowd, funny enough, and I thought, I'll have a little watch of Dylan. And I sat there, and he lost 3 in a row. I thought, right, I'm going to go away again now, because Dylan sort of looked at me.
I actually walked away from that game at 4-0. I came back 10 minutes later, it was 4-all. So,
I said, I was sat next to you.
You were sat next to me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Something going wrong with my memory now.
I know, totally.
It's an age thing.
We're getting
Matt.
on a bit, aren't we?
You speak for yourself, Matt. Well, Raybone looking very, very good at the table right now. It's quite funny. I was going to go back to. I was commentating with Neil Raybone at the last event, and it was actually on your match.
Oh,
and you were
yes.
playing, and it was for the funny scenario days because the last weekend when I retired from the pro game.
Yeah.
Neil was my last match that I played, and you were the last player I beat.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was. That was at Brighton at the Metropole.
Wow.
Many years ago.
Well, that was a long time ago.
That was the old the 7-0 with the Bacardi and Cokes.
I did beat you 7-0 once, Tony.
No, you didn't. No, I'm not having that.
No, you're not having it.
You dreamt that.
Did I? Okay.
Well, the perfect start for Raybone. And then goes the
nice.
8 ball. Completely changed my mind.
I'm going to go for someone different. I've found someone like Chipperfield. Someone who's not. Has he won an event? I'm not sure he has or not.
I think he's won the ultimate pairs before.
Pairs, yeah.
I've been told.
I was talking to Scott Yardley this morning about who would be good to see win, someone different.
Yeah, well, I actually said another one to put in the equation. He's Jack Whelan, and he's out as well.
He's out, yeah. But
So
we were saying
I'm a good tipster, me.
It'd be nice to see someone like Cole Bedford or someone, wouldn't it? One of the younger players.
Cole's a great player. I mean, well, beating Ronan McCarthy 7-1. I mean, that's unheard of. To not just to beat Ronan McCarthy, but that sort of scoreline. Ooh, I mean, that's scary.
Yeah, exactly. And it would say it'd be nice to see one of the younger generation of players.
Declan Brennan.
He's still in, isn't he? Yes, yeah. Yeah.
He's a good player. I mean, really good, real classy player. And actually, I believe that Declan Brennan will be on after this.
Yeah, next game on, isn't he? Let's just see. Yeah, he's playing Mark Fleming.
Well, that'll be a good game.
Very good. Mark's had some really good results this season, so maybe another shock on the cards on that one.
Well, I commentated on a couple of games with Declan in the last event, and he sets off brilliantly, and then I don't know what happens. It sort of just fades away. It did like the last event, and you think, because he looks so good on his cue, and he is such a brilliant player. And it's almost as if it just sort of faded out, and you don't know what went wrong. To be fair, I think he was playing Ian Alley at the time, and Ian was potting balls out of snookers and all sorts of things. Sort of just, when that starts happening, you just don't think it's going to be your day. But yeah, it'd be great to see Declan go deep.
Definitely see him winning this.
And there's so many good players in the, and the way these rules are set out and the format. It's tough to call in it. You kind of just go, because of the consistent performance for years and years, like Cousins, Mellin, Shepherd. It's hard to steer away from them because when you do get out into the TV arena, that's where they seem to be just that slightly above the other players.
Slightly different animal, yeah.
Yeah. You know, they like the attention. They like to be, you know, right in the spotlight.
That's it.
And
Well, that's where you want to be, isn't it? That's where you
of
want to
course.
be.
But there are players that think, you know, they'll come out and they think, oh, you know, I'm playing Tom Cousins or I'm playing Jordan Shepherd and on the main table and live on TV, and it sort of just becomes a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
And that's where they sort of step up.
Yeah.
And that's where you get, you know, if you're going to see any of these big names go out of this tournament, it's generally, unless they're playing each other on the main table, it's on one of the outside tables. And that is no disrespect to anybody, but it does tend to be that way.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that.
Well, a chance here for Leary, though, to level things up.
Just a couple of little precise shots to play. Will he just drop this in and play ball bottom left?
Wants to make sure he's got a little bit of angle.
Little angle, yeah.
If he leaves himself dead straight on it, then he's got some problems. I don't know if you risk playing it off the rail a little bit harder.
I think he's okay.
I think he's just good enough. I was about to say, if you bring the cue ball a bit further off and leave the other angle, so you come in cutting it and going into the rail, but it's... Has he got to force this a bit, Matt?
Well, he needs to get a little way up the table, doesn't he? So maybe he's got a bit of angle there. Oh. But he's going into the black here, isn't he? Can he avoid it?
He'll have to dig deep, and he could maybe clip into the yellows. There's two yellows above the black. That might just be a buffer and just use them to push the cue ball up the table for his last red. But if the yellow comes back again hard, it could cover the black. There's all sorts. Oh, he's hit the black. Well, you called that one. I thought he might have been able to steer above it, but that's now made... I mean, he's got the angle on the red, but...
He's got to get down by that pocket, hasn't he? By that left-hand pocket.
I think he's going to come past it. He's looking to see where the shortest possible place is where he can actually see to pot that black. I'd be tempted to get quite close to it, you know, because he's got the angle.
Try and punch it down.
Yeah. Wow. I thought for a second he was going to nudge it and be able to be on it, but... Well...
I'm trying to see if he's got a shot here. Can he go...
Can he take the black off the yellow into the left-hand centre? So that the yellow ball right in front of the black ball.
I like that.
I like
he's also got well, he's looking at it as well.
He's heard me because I've got an earpiece into him as well.
Oh, right, gotcha.
He's my mate.
Fair enough.
No, that for me is the only shot.
I think he can back double into the other middle, but
He's going off the yellow.
Oars.
Oh,
highlight reel shot.
What a shot by Dylan Leary. Fantastic black ball. And that to level the match.
I think we'll be seeing that one on
online
later. Superb shot.
Unbelievable shot. Right out the top draw. Well, Raybone wanting a ball desperately now, and he might be able to see the finish line in front of him. Crunch break.
One of each.
Has he got room to get past that yellow with the cue ball? We'll have another look at the break.
I think he's got a couple of long shot options.
He was the concern on his face as well when the cue ball was sailing up there. I mean, when you see a load of resi yellows chasing the cue balls, you think it's going to get nudged in.
Oh, he's got the yellow in the middle, okay.
Well,
it's a really good chance, this, actually.
Yeah, this is the chance Raybone wants. Does the yellow slide past the red down at the bottom of the table? He's having a little look through this gap here because this, well, if that goes past, it's pretty easy, but I'm not sure if it does. He's looking at it because he wants that cue ball. If that's the case, he wants to get to the bottom of the table below the black ball to play the other yellow to get on the last yellow in the middle. He's coming in early. Yeah. I don't blame him.
Nor do I. He can just top this through and play the yellow in the right middle, I think.
Either that, or could he screw back into the black ball and nudge it? Oh, mind you, some dangerous We could just roll this and play it in the middle.
No, I think the middle's the one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Keep it
you're right.
simple.
Why complicate things? Why try
Exactly.
and mend something that's not broken, Matt? That's what I say.
Because it's fun, isn't it? Doing something different.
No, well, this is now. Well, it's all about position onto the black ball. He's not
Yeah.
going to miss these yellows.
Exactly.
These are a given. So he just wants to roll. He wants to leave a little angle on that the yellow that's over the right-hand corner. That's going to be second to last yellow.
Yep.
Is he a little bit straight there, Matt, do you reckon?
Yeah, I was just thinking, how would you play this? I'd probably play it with a bit of drag, just to for the white to follow through a little bit. A bit like that.
Played it nicely. All about position. He's looking there. If he could play this yellow into the corner and bring that cue ball down and bump into that red, he'd be laughing. You don't want to bump it half ball and snook himself.
No, you don't. I was thinking.
Do you think you just drop it short, or do you go try and go past?
Maybe onto the centre line somewhere. Just leave it shot. And that's what I think. It's what he's tried.
Yeah, he's let himself a thin cut.
Still fancy it, though, don't you?
I do. When you've got this opportunity to win a match and progress, he knows how important this is. It shouldn't be any danger really with the cue ball unless you throw a load of side on it. And the black's in.
Black's in.
And
White's
Neil
safe.
Raybone beats Dylan Leary by 7 frames to 4.
This is something that I'm intrigued to see, Jim, as we come along the Decky Brennan break.
Yeah, because he seems to have stumbled upon something, doesn't he?
I don't know if anybody's ever tried to hit a break like this, but it's virtually impossible to get that connection with that kind of cut break stance, front ball break. It's something unique, it's something different, but it works.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing, really, how many players end up doing that on a break where there's no sort of rhyme or reason. They're just searching for something, and even they don't really know what they're searching for. It can just be something as, you know, as simple as a feeling, but it looks like Decky's got, ever since he's moved to that break, he seems to have found a little bit of success, and sometimes something like the break can just be all in your mind, and actually you just need to believe in it more than anything else.
Yeah, he's actually got a new break cue as well. He only got it yesterday, and I was with him on the practice table, and he was hitting it really well. So a little bit of a different kind of setup for Deck as well. He's given himself a really good opportunity in this opening frame.
Yeah, he certainly has. So he's been a busy bee recently, along with yourself. I know you two have been putting in the serious hard yards. I can't imagine he spent much time on the practice table with everything that's been going on with Ultimate Pool Island, but it's great to have him with us this weekend, fresh off the back of the Last Man Standing and recent announcement of the Province Series as well. Loads going on over the Irish Sea.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to. We've had unbelievable interest for the Province Series, and we'll have some more information coming out on that once we get the Pro Series by into next week. But yes, I've kind of made a point. I think Deck, one thing that's great with the dynamic of Deck and I is we fully realise the fact that Deck is a professional pool player, and as such needs to be able to juggle Ultimate Pool Ireland and his commitments to being a pro. Me, on the other hand, the pro side doesn't really come into what I do. Nice positional shot needed just from Deck here. Too much work to do. And a great start for him.
Yeah, I mean, when these first came out, I initially thought they looked a little bit tricky, but the plant going helped him a lot, but it was so well controlled. It's the one thing you notice with Declan is when he's on, his cue ball is pretty much perfect. There's no way they won't look at that draw, because, you know, news travels. Oh, Stevie's out, is he? Oh, Chris is out, is he? You know, these are all things that people just pick up on. But I think the likes of John, of Phil Harrison, Declan, Arfan, who's been to a final, Chippy, and all of a sudden the draw opens up and you really fancy it. What a break this is from Mark Fleming, by the way. This is an absolute snorter.
He's absolutely flushed them.
Well, he's got that little, I call it almost a Chris Melling sort of style break where he almost tops the cue ball to try and make it stop. And, I mean, look at that. I think he has to take yellows here, which is his only issue, because he's opened the table up so much, it's actually limited his options. He can't take reds because that red on the right rail. He's got work to do on yellows, they're not easy.
Yeah, yellow's certainly the tougher colour set, but that one makes things a little bit different if he can. He just needs to play a shot here. The yellow and red that are glued together close by each other on the right hand side of the table is an obvious problem. It looks like he's going to top through this and leave the angles to see if he can screw into it right now. He's got that little bit of insurance with the yellow to the left of the 8-ball.
Yeah.
This match has been a high standard. Oh, he's just not got into that enough. This is definitely something when you look at it, Jimmo, where Mark's 3-0 behind. He's had one goal and missed one pot and hasn't seen the table in the other 2 frames.
Do you draw back here? Because ultimately with the weird break that he had where he's nearly taken every red off the table, reds aren't brilliant here, and I'm not surprised to see that shot, because Decky can't go either. So he's not lost the frame with that missed cannon. He's still thinking clearly out there to try and build from a base.
It's a tough one because I'm not sure maybe the double the yellow, maybe not, the 8-ball could be in the way, so there's no obvious breaker ball either from either colour set really to get into this.
No, not at all. This frame may well have some mileage in it.
It's funny whenever there's only 3 colours of each set left on the table and you can sort of tell that there might be a little bit of mileage left to go.
I think this yellow is, probably not now, could have been used as a breaker ball. The thing is you sort of in your mind's eye you're thinking, oh well, maybe if he plays that shot, and you realise, yeah, how hard a shot is that though? I think it's not a shot you'd want to leave. Yeah. At some point Mark will feel like he has to.
I'm excellent to call no shots from here.
What's Declan praying here? I love that for Declan, because now he's got a double.
Yeah, he's given himself an opportunity.
That yellow still doesn't go, which is important because the 8-ball's presence. Mark's got to play a really touchy little shot here. I think he's played that really well, you know.
Yeah, he's kind of forcing Declan into having to move it. Can he clip it thin enough? Oh, looks like a foul. Yep.
Called it straight away.
He was trying to play that so thin so as he didn't move the red. Paper thin, take the paint off the ball, and he's just missed it.
Those are almost impossible to judge those. And Declan runs aground, gives up the foul. This is the shot that I thought Mark could play. He's looking to top off the bottom rail into that yellow. It's much easier when you've got cue ball in hand to play it, of course, and he's played that perfectly. It's just what he wanted.
Yeah, and this will settle him down. First frame on the board.
Yeah, Decky will be frustrated, but he'll also know that that was a frame that he wasn't really supposed to win. That's what he'll be telling himself.
Trailing 6 frames to 3.
Mark Fleming needs a ball. Wouldn't you know it?
Of course.
Wouldn't you know it? Mark Fleming almost ran back to his chair like he was expected to be there.
And it was just never in doubt. That cue ball, as soon as it hit the pack, there was only one place it was going. That was the right middle pocket. Giving Declan a chance to close out this match. It's not an easy one. certainly at the table.
Oh, hope for Mark Fleming. It's a poor one from Decky, that.
Yeah. Similar idea to Mark, you know, in the previous frame. Decky had to know that was
Close to the time foul. It's not going to be.
But the dynamic changes as it is, because Mark has to be the aggressor here. He can't wait for, you know, glorious golden opportunities anymore.
Don't think that necessarily harms him. He's got 6 minutes. He's got the time. He has the time on a 15-second shot clock. 2 minutes a frame is absolutely fine, and he will just want to be level. He can't think as far as trying to get the win here at 6-3 down. You're just trying to fight back to get level, and then what will be will be. He needs 3 frames. He will have another break to get one of those 3 frames as well. So he just needs to go. He's been given an opening there by Declan Brennan.
And on that note of Mark trying to draw level, I know another certain pro who'll be who'll be rubbing his hands at the thought of a Declan Brennan 6-red shootout.
Yeah, I can think of someone.
It was let's just say there was some friendly banter thrown about on the train on the way up yesterday.
Just didn't quite have the line. I want it to be above that red, and he's below it. And now he's got to find a crazy shot here.
In off the yellow. Yeah, I think the yellow was too far out there.
That was
but
so tough.
he didn't really have much of a choice.
No. So Declan Brennan gets his second chance to win the match.
Oh, what a shot that is.
Cool. Wow, what a shot. Terrific double from Declan Brennan. Played it with a degree of safety. You can see where he's left the cue ball. But now he can go. What a brilliant shot. Vision to see that on a 15-second shot clock is something else, isn't it?
Get another look at this. I was wondering, I thought he was playing at the middle, too much pace, but Declan.
How good is that?
Tasty shot from Declan Brennan. Gives him gilt-edged opportunity to close out this match. For a first match on Friday rather. Getting ahead of myself. Our first match on Friday on the main table under the lights. Deck he'll be pleased with this. It's been a competent performance. Certainly not his best. Definitely not his worst.
Yeah, it certainly has been. And 2 balls away here. From ensuring he does get the victory. Declan the Destroyer marches on. Super match that one with Mark Fleming.
Play it. Only a matter of time before he started making waves on this series. So, first break from McAllister, and balls raining in all over the table. 4 yellows are down, but unfortunately for him, the white's also off the table.
Yeah, that's an incredible break. You never normally see that many amount of balls go in. And to be fair to Cole, he hasn't got the easiest of clearances yet. It looks a lot easier than it does on the screen. He needs to land the right side of this yellow.
Yeah, it's a strange one sometimes, isn't it? You almost want more balls on the table. There's no traffic at all in the middle of the table. The balls have all gone over to the sides. It's really just about the one good shot here. He's going to get positioned down this end of the table. If he was right-handed, this would be an easy shot, but the fact that he's having to lean right over the table. He's also running out of time. He's already used his extension. Well, that's not gone well. Came very close to a time foul, which would have been a bit embarrassing given he had a ball in hand and an extension. And in the end, he's overdone the positional shot.
Yeah, normally when you pop 4 yellows off the break, you would expect a little bit easier of a layout than that. First shot with slidey cushions, with the table being iron, that was a lot harder than it looked.
So you're going to have to try and play a containing shot now. He's going to be so annoyed with this position because he couldn't really have asked for much more. His opponent had split the balls up beautifully and given him the cue ball. He's looking a bit disappointed as he walks away from the table, both because he's not cleared up, but also because he's tied up those 2 yellows, so it makes it much easier for John to play a safety shot back if he wants to.
Cole's not one to hide his emotions as well, and you could see his frustration there already.
Yeah, it's quite entertaining, isn't it? I mean, you can debate the pros and cons of whether you display any emotions out in the arena, but from our point of view, watching it, it's kind of fun to see. It's not the best shot though. He's trying to get in tight behind that red. He's not left a pot, but he has left sight of the yellows.
Should be able to flick off this maybe. Oh no, he can't see it.
Yeah, maybe he can't quite see, or maybe he feels it's no use being able to see the right hand side. He's going to try and come off 2 cushions.
This is a tough shot with the table being really slidey.
Decent enough hit, but a numerical disadvantage now, which means that John should have the tactical upper hand. Tables have played pretty well this weekend. Recloth the better than, but not the cushions, so haven't been quite as slidey as they sometimes are. She played fairly predictably.
Cole's yellows have just gone into awkward places for John. No loss of turn shots on, so I think there's a little bit more play left in this frame.
Yeah, there was a moment where it looked like John was only 1 visit away from being a chance to clear up, but now the yellows are sort of in the mix as well. Everything goes bar the red and yellow tied up at this end of the table.
I think Cole would take that, he'd be really happy with that result. Puts a little bit of pressure on the John here.
Yeah, it does, because I don't think that red squeezes past the yellow bottom left, so even if he puts the ball in the middle, he's still got a bit of a problem.
Could clip off the red half ball and play the loss of turn, but the only thing is he could potentially leave a shot for Cole.
Yeah, it's not quite as easy as it looks this. He can bump the red past the yellow, try not to leave a shot.
I didn't like that shot because he's just basically handed Cole the loss of turn shot.
Yeah, he was obviously hoping to leave the cue ball absolutely welded to the yellow. He's got pretty close to it. The referee hasn't called a touching ball though, so looks like Cole should be able to play that shot.
If he can leave the white anywhere near the left hand side. That looked a bit iffy to me.
Yeah, by standards of snooker you would say that was a push shot. The way these rules are written, if you play a shot like that, it's generally not called as a foul, but he's not quite played it as he wanted. He was trying to leave the cue ball tighter to the left hand side cushion.
Black is still in an awkward position, so just needs himself to leave himself the right angle so he can come down the table.
Yeah, absolutely crucial. He's got some angle on the last ball.
That looks absolutely perfect.
The fact that yellow's hanging over the pocket in a way makes the positional shot easier to get on the black, because use the yellow as a kind of target, and it's not the worst thing if you run into it.
We're 7 minutes into the frame, Mark, and when we seen John break off, you wouldn't have put your money on that.
No, in many ways it could have been the quickest frame we've ever seen. There were so few balls left, but it's been a lot of play since then. Oh, played that really well. You've got to make this though. There's going to be no element of safety if he misses it. Has to go. Well, does just about. The record he's had so far.
Does like to remind me when we're playing doubles, he's the legend killer.
Quite an entertaining doubles partner, I imagine. Get a bit of everything.
Yeah, you just got to just let him. There's no point trying to tame him. Just let him be himself. I think it's good for the game. We need characters like this. Makes it interesting. People who can tune in and relate to certain individuals, like your Alex Higginses, your Ronnies.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's what makes a lot of sports the personalities involved. It's a very difficult balance because to achieve at the top pro level, you often do have to tame your emotions slightly. That's what makes you a good player, but it does take some of the entertainment value out of it. John's a very different character, although he does sometimes give a bit away. You certainly see a bit of disappointment at times. Certainly moments in his match last night against Christoph Lambauer where he didn't look best pleased with the way that things were going.
I think John is playing into his problem ball now. It's a tad unfortunate.
Yellow ball's in play.
But I think he has landed with quite a good result there. He can play the yellow off the red into the middle and still develop his bad ball, so it's not the worst result.
Yeah, just taking a moment to think through the options. The congestion in the middle of the table's obviously the main problem. Is he playing that off the red and just misjudged it, or has he got a different plan for that yellow?
I don't think he's seen it, if I'm being honest, Mark. I'm pretty surprised that he didn't play it.
It seemed like once you moved that ball in the middle of the table, it was going to be very hard to get back for that yellow. That was the only one that really offered much position. And I suppose if he'd have had a bit more angle on the ball to the right-hand corner, he could screw up off that. But it's not really that easy to guarantee position, which is why he's had to bail out of the clearance. I think he just kind of ran out of time to think that through in the end. He seemed to play a bit of a nothingy shot to the middle and then didn't really seem to have a plan at the bottom, so he had to bail out. Well, I guess playing an opponent that's relatively likely to go for attacking options, you sometimes are better to let Cole in first, see what he makes of it. He's going to get a decent percentage of the clearances, but he's not going to get all of them, so sometimes you'll get another chance. And he's got the same issue, of course. He's got one of the reds out, but he's still got the problem with the cluster in the middle of the table, and he's not landed too well after that one.
Yeah, I think there was definitely a sense of John playing his opponent a little bit there, maybe. He definitely would have seen that shot, but John being quite an attacking player himself, that's why it was quite a surprise. But you know, when you're playing chaos,
Extension called.
it's very rarely going to turn anything down.
Yeah, and although there are people that say just play the table and don't play your opponent, I'm not sure that is always completely true. There are times when you would play different shots against different opponents. Well, it sounded like you got a very heavy contact there, but the ball has gone in.
That was a great shot there by Cole. Left himself perfect angle. Just needs to leave the white ball low here so he can come along for the red on the left-hand rail. I don't think he got the angle. He might have to swing it off too. think he's just okay.
Just to get over to the left-hand side towards the 8 ball.
That was the problem with that shot. He just off straight.
Yeah, played it well though. Played a confident shot in the end. So some people get a bit twitchy with those and try and just dribble them down the cushions, but he punched it in. Just this mid-distance 8 ball.
By 6 frames to 3.
So Cole moving over to the side of the table to break. Just over 8 minutes remaining on the match clock.
Extension call.
A shake of the head for Cole because he knows that the chances are running out a bit now. Got to win all the remaining frames and also got to do it relatively quickly.
John had just been running the clock down here. Cole got to maintain the climb with 7 or so minutes left on the clock. He's just going to force Cole into going for it.
Yeah, that's the luxury of having a lead as you go into the end of the match. You know, you don't really have to force anything. He's played the positive shot still. Was hoping that he could spring the 8 ball and the red out. Quite got enough room to get through to the red yet, so have to go down the table.
That's not the greatest of shots by John. He has left Cole the chance to snip off the yellow and leave the white in behind the black. No, you haven't seen it.
It's not what he wants, that ball tied up, because he's the one that's got to force a quick clearance here.
Cole definitely didn't need to play that shot then. He got a bit more time left on the clock than he thinks, I imagine.
Yeah, you often see this. People know they're a few frames behind and think they have to play quickly, but sometimes they've got a bit more time than they realise. He's played the right shot though, hasn't gone chasing.
He was just chasing a little bit too much there for my liking. He did have the opportunity to leave the white in behind the black and develop his bad balls. Don't think he's just seeing it 100% at the moment.
From a neutral's perspective, it would be entertaining obviously to see a close match at the end. John will be hoping it doesn't come to that though.
Straight. Yeah.
Doesn't need to go for these still. And that's a great shot. Didn't think he had that angle. Another tough positional shot required.
Disappointed with himself as he sits in his chair because he knows that was a chance.
John's left himself a good angle here. This is a good chance now to close out the match. Couldn't have asked for any better. Just needs to make sure he leaves this one on the corner bag low so he can just use the natural slide of the table just to come up down for the black.
Well, it's a match that could have gone either way at the beginning, but it's John McAllister that has ultimately stretched his lead as we've approached the end of the match. Just one positional shot to play now. So just this 8-ball for John McAllister. Good job from John McAllister. He completes the win over Cole Bedford.
Well, he's gone to the cut break, made a yellow in the centre, 2 yellows in the centre.
Yeah, it was just as good as his first one, that, Chris.
Yeah, and they've come out lovely.
Yeah, very good. Nice solid contact and straight back into the pack of colours. How's his layout?
Yeah, it's good. I like it from where it is there. Got to play a couple of tricky little shots. The way I would go about this is I pop the one in the middle, then the other one in the middle, stun down for the yellow where he is now next to the cue ball, play that one in the middle, screw back, then play the yellow next to the red, yellow in the corner, but he's decided to go a different route. No good. Dead straight. You may see him play cushion first, or he's going to pop this and screw back. Whatever he does, he's just made it very difficult for himself after that first shot.
Yeah, very straight indeed on this yellow down into the corner. May only be able to come backwards because of that. Well, he's created a little bit of angle.
Yeah, and you see now he's going to probably play the yellow in the middle pocket now. What he's looking at here. He could have played that after his second shot if he got rid of the yellow in the middle of the table. It would have been so much easier. He has to play the yellow in the middle pocket now.
He's almost in between shots here. There's no obvious right choice.
Yeah, he's got to go middle, 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 and then middle with the 8-ball. Oh wow, he's missed that by a long way. And I don't think that was the correct shot, playing the double from there, and that's going to hurt Cormac. He has had 3 opportunities in this match so far and not taken any of them.
This must have been very tight.
Yeah, and Carl's not really done anything wrong. He's played really well, and it'd be wise here to pop the red and screw into the red on the side cushion. He doesn't have to, but for me he's got a perfect angle and he's guaranteed to be on another red. Yeah, decided against it. Ooh, that's not a good shot. That is not a good shot from Carl.
Things gone slightly awry in frame number 4 for Carl, but he's still okay here.
Yeah, but I mean, he could have screwed that out. You know, he's guaranteed to be on the red that he's on now.
Yeah, and like you said, it was a good choice to go into it, but he didn't have to. It didn't need moving.
Yeah, and the cue ball's getting away from him here. He's got to be very cute with the cue ball now. Believe it or not, he'd probably pop the red and play the red up the cushion and try and screw back. It's tough from here. He's got to get in perfect position after this shot, or he's in deep trouble. Oh, nicely played.
I think this is just about perfect.
Yeah, if you can just kill the cue ball, just aim at the bottom of the cue ball with a touch of right hand side, or you can play off the cushion, flick the black.
Yeah, use the 8-ball as a buffer.
He's played it a little bit hard there for me. I think he could have played that so much softer.
Yeah, and just moving that red closer to the cushion has now made it a lot more difficult to get back out for the 8.
And it's not that. He's nudged the 8-ball so far over when he didn't need to. Oh, wow. Have you seen where that's it? That's missed by a foot. That has missed by a foot. And it's still... I'm lost for words.
Give it up. Not an easy 8 though. Don't think it passes to the bottom right. Is he cutting this to the middle? This is very thin.
I think he'll get it.
Has it got the legs? Oh, not quite. So
the old cardinal sin. You've got to hit it hard enough. If you miss it, it doesn't matter. But you've got to make sure you reach the hole. Similar with a putt at golf. You've got to make sure you get to the hole.
Yeah, especially what he's done to his opponent so far in this match, keeping him on the donut, you know, now letting him back at the table for a golden chance to get his first frame on the board.
Yeah, nice little soft stun shot here for Cormac, and he'll be perfect on the yellow in the middle. Doesn't want to screw this back. Well, he's landed the wrong side of the yellow. He's still okay. Do you see what I mean though there, where he's trying to play a soft stun and he screwed it back because you can't play that shot. It was only 3 foot away from the ball.
Yeah.
So imagine being 7 foot away from the ball and trying to do that.
It was looking like everything was going to go in Carl O'Donoghue's direction in this match, but
they are.
What do you know?
They are. I tell you, it happens so often.
I'm starting to think you and the pool gods have got a deal. Maybe you just played that many matches, you can almost call it.
Well, it's not as easy as it looks, this. He's got to go for yellows. First shot, stun the yellow, then play the yellow in the middle. Screw back into the red, play the other yellow in the middle, then screw back for the other yellow in the middle, and then they're all there. A little bit too much. Little bit too much. He's okay. I think he's got to play the one in the right middle first. Well, he's going the other way.
Did look like a little bit too much adrenaline there, didn't it, with that last shot?
Yeah, and that is why he had to play the other yellow in the middle. He's come short there. He can drop it in and play the long one, but this has all now become a little bit difficult. Because if he pots this, where does the other yellow go that's below the red? Can he screw it across? You see, if he plays the other yellow in the middle, he can then play the yellow in the left middle and cut the yellow in the opposite middle, where the one is over the pocket.
Very close to being a time foul.
You see, he's in a little bit of trouble here, you know. Because the harder he plays this, the cue ball's going to top on itself. This shot here is a prime example of trying to get the cue ball out, and I'm not quite sure he can. See what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think this yellow passes to the top left. We did get a camera angle, so has he only got a double available?
He's got a double, but he's going to have to play it hard because it's going to slide.
It's not there. Cormac is going to get another chance to close this match out in frame number 12.
Yeah, and that mistake has come because he potted the wrong yellow in the wrong pocket.
Absolutely. Not a surprise to see him opt for a safety there. There won't be another one after this visit from the wing.
Yeah, and how do you get out of this one? This is difficult because he's put the red in the way. You've got to screw it with right hand spin, hard.
Great shot.
Great shot, to be fair.
Couldn't do any more with that. Look at the cue ball is still spinning. Look at that.
Yeah, and when he looks back at that, Carl, he'll realise that he had to play the other one. That's going to hurt because that was an opportunity, and I think if he won that, he wins the match because I think he'd break and clear. But how do you like these? This is the type of clearance you really want to win a title. Oh, Cormac, you've got to play the red that's next to the cue ball. No, that is not the shot. That to me says he's nervous because he's played the cue ball in such a way that he snookers him.
Who could blame him though, Chris?
Yeah, but you couldn't miss that red. He's right, it's a half ball cut. The only thing that could go wrong is if he gets a kick. He's okay, he's overrun it a little, but he's okay. Just stun to the gap. Choice of 2 reds. Well, it's been a good match. It's had everything, but it looks like Cormac is going to be the victor in this one.
Yeah, 2 of the simplest balls you'd ever wish for a place in the last 16. Exceptional, although the black did go in off the post. The handshakes come in. Congratulations to Cormac Core. Books his place in the last 16.
He's sitting on various different boards. He's heavily involved in the organisation of tours and competitions. A really genuinely great ambassador for the sport. And has experience. He was talking to me earlier about his journey in wheelchair cue sports. Has experience of playing up on his feet, but he's cerebral palsy cue sports player is Tony Southern, and that's gradually deteriorated to the point where he's much happier to play wheelchair cue sports and much more comfortable with that. And hasn't he just over 30 odd years of playing, and he's won just about everything.
Yeah, an amazing CV, it really is. Titles galore. Split's good here. These have come out
Really
quite
nice.
nicely. I don't think he fully connected with the break, but they opened really clean for him. You really would love to keep red bottom left as your last ball. So the angle he's got here may come back, but might just have to drop through and take the tricky one into the right centre. Yeah, that's fine. Now, and this is a nice little just off angle as well. It means he can drop this in, and he's going to leave just above the straight on the red bottom left, and then you can stun behind the 8 ball. Absolutely straight would be fine as well, because he can go both sides of the 8 ball, both bottom corner pockets.
Yeah, lovely this. Gorgeous. So this for breaking clearance for Aslam Abu Baker. Oh, he cannot believe it. He will be so sick.
He will, because all the hard work was done. Picked a beautiful pattern, making the game simple for himself, and then misses the 8. The only good news in terms of winning the frame is there is a yellow near that corner pocket, and the only time you really get much equity in a frame for missing a ball and leaving it over the pocket is when it is the 8 ball, and that's what's happened here.
It was thin, but it's not like he had to do anything with the cue ball. It is a straight up miss. There's no cheating in the pocket there.
No.
He just wants to get it in. Played with a degree of safety by Tony Southern. I quite like that shot.
It may be a fairly comfortable one here for Aslam, though.
He
Certainly hit it
squeak
from
it down the near side.
Yeah, he may actually be hitting the 8 ball a little thick. Yeah, just you see how he got very, very close to that yellow and still hit the 8 ball thick. So the shot wasn't quite on for him.
Yeah, I think to be fair, Tony came round this side to play his last shot. I think he'd have been aware of that. Absolutely worth a dig for Aslam Abu Baker, because he's guaranteed to hit it, and well, if he makes it amazing, could double kiss and all the rest of it. I think the only way to pot that would have been the one cushion down the right side of the table.
As long as there's not a straight gap here, now it's a better snooker, because you don't leave the easy one cushion. And the line that Aslam's looking for here is really tough to judge, especially on a table where you're not quite feeling it with the slide. So he's coming back down the other way.
Oh, that was close. Didn't think he could be able to get that close to the thin.
That's where the slide does help you. A little bit of slide off the cushion means he gets a lot closer to the 8 ball than the natural line.
Yeah, that shot was on. So Tony's got cue ball in hand, and he needs to do something with his yellow by the 8 ball here. For me, it's got to be a double, right?
Well, I was wondering whether the short position to take it right centre was on, and if it was, then maybe that would be the one. But he may well be thinking the way you're thinking and get down to the double, try and win the frame that way.
Because I think at least if you leave it as a double, you may have a little bit of insurance.
Yeah, I wondered, he could have played a snooker there, but then you'd be leaving the one cushion off the right hand side, so it might have been too risky. So it almost feels like it needs to be full-blooded now and to go. Well, he'll know, and it's difficult for us. I mean, he's not happy. He's giving us that sarcastic tap, and that tells us the cue ball, the path of the cue ball in pot this yellow is dangerously close to the 8-ball. But for a second, I thought he might have an angle where he could play the breakout, but I don't think he has. I think he's going to be throwing too wide here and actually closer to the 8-ball, so he may have to screw this, and that isn't ideal.
There's the rest extender that he mentioned. Double still goes. He's just got a hell of a shot to play on the yellow above it. Last couple of yellows are going to be big time for Tony Southern if he can take these out.
I think he has to deal with the one in the open first, because if he plays the double now, which he could, the cue ball's going to be running loose on him, so he's going to have to find a big pot up the table, probably top left, which is the way to get on the double.
Yeah.
Top right's the easier pot, but top left is the one for the finish. So it's a tough pot and then a tough double.
Maybe some out from here. All the eggs in one basket. Super pot.
It's a good pot, but he needs to get the screw on the ball to get down for the double.
Unless he's planning on trying to squeeze this in past the 8-ball.
I don't think that's on, but full in the face may be close to the cocked hat. Well, tried to squeeze it in. I'm not sure that was quite on.
And he hasn't had a result because Aslam can squeak that underneath the yellow.
Neumann himself. It's always tough. He had one bad ball and it was difficult to solve. Yeah,
You've got to give a lot before you ever even think about getting anything back in return.
Yeah, it's almost a thankless task, really. And it's amazing for anyone that wants to do it and take it on, because it is hours and hours of work.
Oh, beautiful control on the break from Tony. He's not made a ball, though, and these yellows are actually not bad, I don't think.
Yeah, messy table, actually. The two yellows aren't quite set as a plant. That's going to be tricky to solve, and obviously he's got the one just to the left of the cue ball now.
I think the plant's on, you know, Si. I think if he takes it thin, he can avoid the red and clip the yellow into the pocket, and the yellow actually goes away from the reds. Looks irritated with himself there, Aslan. I wonder if that was a full-blooded attempt.
Well, one thing we do know, we worry about the yellows bottom left. The reds are not good at all here. Is it worth taking a one left centre and then playing a loss of turn bottom left-hand corner? You may well be leaving another loss of turn immediately back, and you end up losing that little exchange. So if the plant's not on, maybe it's better to leave it as is. That was an attempt for the loss of turn, though. Not a terrible outcome. Tony could play the loss of turn here, play the red onto the yellow bottom left, leave the red in front of the yellow. That's one I was talking about previously. In these sort of situations, potting isn't necessarily to your advantage.
Have a plan.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it unless he thinks the red below the 8-ball will open up the bottom left-hand corner pocket if he can swing the cue ball around to there, but that's a tough place to find. If you drop the one in left centre, then there's nowhere to go. Yeah, he's not happy. He was looking for an angle to come down the table, but you'd have almost had to reach the left-hand side cushion for that. We did have the angle. It was a little bit more there than I thought. So he was actually trying to play the breakout from that ball.
Yeah, that's why I think he'd have been particularly annoyed, because he didn't really have that angle.
No.
Lost a turn coming up, you would imagine.
You've got to factor in, see, these guys have played a little bit of international 8-ball rules. It has become the rule set, but they've grown up and won all their major achievements at world rules mainly. So that loss of turn shot's then not an option, and covering pockets and going that way around so that is still part of the mindset.
So much so that Aslam committed to the pot there, when much easier loss of turn probably would have benefited him a little bit more.
Yeah, completely.
But that's the challenge. That's what these boys have signed up for with international rules, and just like everybody else 3 years ago before it became almost the norm.
That's the shot.
What a shot that is.
Yeah, that is brilliant. I did wonder whether that would sneak in. It was just trying to get to that area of the table, but doing it as a double is because this is an absolute frame winner. This is brilliant.
Oh, that's awesome from Tony Southern. What a shot that was. Did not even think anything was on there. He's got one more big shot to play.
Yeah, another couple of turns would have been nice.
Yeah, wouldn't it just?
It does go top left. That's what he's looking at. I was thinking if it goes 2 more turns, then he can just stun behind the 8 balls at bottom left, but it's a little bit thinner than that this time. Obviously it does go top right as well, but the cue ball is not going on a good line unless the 8 ball comes bottom right, in which case he could cannon the yellow full ball and leave it on. It's very tight bottom right. He's on it. Oh, is he on it? Yes, he is. It's only, what, half a pocket? Yeah, well, he's got the centre of the pocket.
These pots can always be difficult when you've got another ball in your eye line.
The yellow really does get in your way here. Oh, that's so good.
What an out from Tony Southern.
Big break and chance required for Aslam, who of course missed the 8 ball for a break clearance in the previous frame. He's got a chance for another one though. Yeah, the reds are a chance here. First thought, I'm assuming the yellow doesn't pass the red bottom of the table, so for me it has to be reds. And it's going to be when he plays the red to bottom right, so if he deals with a 3 at the top, if he can get to the right hand side of the table, it's then going to be when he plays that shot, does he need to cannon the other red to hold the cue ball? Can he drop on the one on the bottom cushion? It's all going to depend on that angle and that shot that's going to be coming up after this one. And he's just about okay just to roll this through and leave that red to bottom right. Oh, he missed it. He missed it on the wrong way as well. Missed it where he was making it tight to be on the potting angle for the red bottom right. I don't think the yellow passes the red to the bottom of the table, so that's part of the reason why Aslam went on the reds. But this is certainly an opportunity for Tony to, I mean, with the clearance he just made in the previous frame, maybe he wants to work that one out, but maybe a little bit of clock management here as well. Can't quite run the clock down to the end. But does it force you to not chase anything here? Maybe slow it down and
it might do
make
now.
It messy.
We've seen that little sarcastic tap of the table quite a lot from Tony in this match. He still leads 2-1. Gary Swift and Dave Beaumont, the other two players to come in this Ultimate Pool Wheelchair Showcase. The winner of that match will play the winner of this one for the Showcase Trophy later on this evening. Tough cue in this. Just cued it well.
Can he get past the 8 ball to the right hand red? That's the one he wants to be on. If he is on that, he's perfect. No. So having to come for the one on the... Can you see the bottom cushion? It's very, very tight. No, it has to be the plant then. Oh, how well played is that? And it's not just the fact that he's made the plant, which was very off angle, but playing that plant, there's every chance that red comes up and gets behind the yellow. He's played it at such a pace where it stayed in play. This may be the wrong ball though. If he takes the bottom one, you can get on the other red. He was okay. He could slide by the yellows. I was slightly worried he'd be coming too high up the table. Even then though, this is a tricky cue ball to the 8 ball.
Yeah, you've got to cue this really well to get back to... He wants to pretty much be just a little bit short of where he is now to take the 8 ball up to the top right. And, yeah, just got to cue this well. Not quite.
Tried to float it in with that right hand side to give himself sight of the 8 ball. He may have found that easier going the other way around. So on bottom cushion, then the one on the right hand side. Because if you end up with slightly wrong angle, you've got more options than the one he had to play there. Does the yellow slide by the red bottom right? If it does, it's a chance for Tony to take these out.
Extension, please.
Lost a turn by the looks of things. Oh, no. No, and what a moment with 3:30 left. Aslam's got... He's on the red. It's just, can he just control the cue ball to be nicely on this 8 ball? He should comfortably give himself a shot at it, but he wants to be right behind it. Also, very, very hampered. Just got it a little bit thick. The thinner you pop that, the more it will just come across the table. That could be such a big shot from Tony to not get the loss of turn, but he may be let off here. Depends what Aslam can do.
I've got it moving towards the top of the table, which was the plan, and he's at least made one of Tony's yellows pretty awkward. They're just going to have a check for this one. I'm just going to check if it was a foul. That's the referees just pause the match for some VAR.
It was clear hitting the 8 ball first, I think. Let's have another look. Ooh. Yeah. I think this must be yellow first for the 8 ball to go off on that direction, actually. The 8 ball can't go in that direction.
Yeah, it's yellow first, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, no, because it hit the other yellow in the middle. It looked, in real time, it looked like 8 ball first. It was just the direction of the 8 ball, but it flicks the other yellow in the middle of the table, so absolutely fine.
It's Brian Moss out there in the main arena, taking charge of this one of the best in the business. Just wanted to... the technology just to double check himself there.
And this is where Tony's just in a situation now, pot, what, 3-4 balls here, and the match is won. And this is a new skill that everyone in the game with Ultimate Pool's having to learn, that clock management. You go about these finishes in different ways. You don't worry about the one by the 8 ball, you're just dealing with the other yellows in play, and he won't be happy with the first shot he's played there, because he wanted to be on yellow to right centre or yellow to top right, and he's not.
Well, this one's missable.
It's controllable enough though. If he just drops it in, he's on yellow to top right. Also, if he doesn't make it, he's not leaving the 8 ball on. But he won't want to give Aslam even a shot at the 8 ball off a cushion.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's going to have one.
It's a comfortable hit for Aslam here.
Can he get it towards a pocket? Just a reminder, if we are level at the end of the match clock, it's an 8-ball shootout.
This is close. It's not going to have the pace. Oh, yellow got in the way as well.
Good solid hit.
Yeah, I just thought that was going to have the angle for the top right, but not quite the power. And that should be that really for Tony.
Yeah, just one shot and that's it.
To be fair to Tony, the shot he played to win frame 3 kind of deserved it, didn't it? That was very special.
Yeah, that was a match-winning shot, wasn't it? So Tony Southern is going to win our first semi-final in the Ultimate Pool Wheelchair Showcase. And a super performance it was as well. Final beeps, countdown. And it's job done for Tony Southern, who I think even ended with a fluke there for good measure. And very familiar face in local league pool in that area, and you've got to be a good player in that area to play local league pool, let me tell you. But he was a local league player until 2014, until a couple of players had a word with him and said, Dave, I reckon you should. We saw the World Championships last year, and we reckon you're at the level, mate. You should give it a go. Rocked up in 2014 and won the world title.
Absolutely love it. I have to say, he crunched that opening break. Very unfortunate to be dry.
Yes, this is Gary Swift at the table now.
Very difficult layout on Red's here. Red right centre. You can just see there, he could just about turn that one in. But you got the one at the top of the table as well. I don't know whether the one left centre goes. You see the yellow looks like it's in the way there. So all in all, these are very difficult and very tricky to connect. So maybe worth just pulling back now.
I love the aggression. Did hear from Tony Southern there, and these boys all know each other really, really well. They're good mates. You can tell that when you're around them. They all get along well and very comfortable in each other's company. They seem to have had a bit of a pact that they've shown up here with the Ultimate Pool Wheelchair Showcase, and they're going to go for their shots. We're not here to play safe. We're here to have a good time and show what we can do. And we saw that with Tony's fantastic shot in the last match, and I think that was the angle Gary was taking on there, because that finish wasn't really on.
No, it wasn't.
But for the double that he went.
Why not? It is a showcase. Come out here and show us what you can do. There is an easier layout on yellow, significantly, but it still has that one tricky ball, which may well be worth taking now. If you really want to go here, yellow top right, get that one out the way, and then they are all there and the connections are there. You can just see the two yellows together are slightly
Well, can you get
awkward.
to the one closest to the top middle pocket as we look?
If you can, then I'd take it now, yeah.
It looks on the overhead like he's on it.
Yeah.
I didn't think from the main camera that he could be.
Well, that's clever.
But yeah, look at that. That'll do.
And he can come back across for the one that I was talking about. He could also go up the table, and if that yellow in the top half doesn't go top left, it's going to be difficult to get onto it into left centre. It may be worth taking it now, depending on his angle. The problem is the only one you'd probably play on from here, or the one you'd want to, is bottom left, and then you'd need an angle to get across the table. But it's certainly doable. Just slightly overdid it.
Well, they can pump in the pots, these boys, can't they?
Not sure if he was playing the cannon on the red off one cushion, because if he hits the red, he's
on the yellow to the bottom left.
Yeah, with just enough angle to come across the table.
Well, does he still dig? He has got a route out.
Oh, this goes.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the reason I don't like yellow bottom left his last ball was getting to it, but if he can get to it, it's a good last ball for the 8 ball.
Oh, not quite. And you can see he had to play a few long shots in succession, but it was there. Reds are a bit easier now for Gary Swift than they once were.
Can he pot the one left centre? If he could, from where he is now, it would be the shot, but perhaps not. I wonder, is he thinking he doesn't like trying to find the small gap to be on it, and maybe thinking 3 ball plant? It shouldn't spin the red playing down the table, so it would keep that in play. But he's not particularly straight on it. Yeah, very nice.
I tell you what, can he kill this into the middle pocket? Is he on it now?
Yeah, and
can't get better on it.
And then you connect to the red top of the table. You do want an angle to be able to get onto the red at the bottom. So the straighter the better, really. So just drop this in dead weight. And is he straight enough? I think he is. And then you can take the red bottom left, and you just swing 2 cushions in the 8 ball on the natural.
There you see the rest come out. Got to be a seriously good player with the rest to make shots like those consistently. I know there's plenty of pool players on the Ultimate Pool Series who will not go near a rest.
Yeah, they're shy
and
away
they're very
from it
good
at all times.
as well.
Yeah.
Don't want to call anybody out, but I've had a couple of players tell me that, you know, they're very, very good players right up there in the rankings. So I won't go near a rest. I'll reroute. Big shot here for Gary Swift.
I got that one wrong. Shame, really, because the shot was on for him. Obviously a tricky one, but it was on. And cue ball in hand does mean that Dave Bowman has a way to get out.
Yeah. I think he just caught it. Did he catch it with his feathers there?
No, well, I don't know. I think it was a little bit of a stretch. And what Dave needed to do there was just give himself 2 or 3 rolls of angle. Still play the same plant, but the cue ball, the yellow would stay where it is now, but the cue ball would be much closer to the middle of the table, which would make life a lot easier. Because even if he makes this yellow to bottom right, the cue ball may be tracking close to the 8 ball. That's how thin he can pot this.
Slightly awkward cueing as well.
Might just be okay potting thin.
Cue ball. He's fine.
Yeah, he did well. Actually controlled it well enough to not be in and not to hit the 8.
Oh, it sits up. I don't think Dave Bowen can believe that didn't drop. Not to beat.
He'll be disappointed with that. I think he'll expected to get that one. But as we talked about in the first semi-final, it's difficult for the players just to get a feel for the cushions and the slide and the. Also, it's one of those. That was a double that maybe he was expecting to slide, and it actually didn't quite slide on that occasion. just because of the angle he played it at, sometimes it'll come up that touch straighter. If you play for the slide and it doesn't happen, you can look a little bit wide. Oh, that's actually worked out really, really well.
Yeah, what a kiss that is.
But that's another one that shows how quick that reacted.
Yeah, you wanted to bring that back a couple of inches, I think.
Yeah, and it flew back. It all worked out well.
Yeah, lovely little nudge. Dave Beaumont rolls in the first 8 ball.
David Beaumont's break, leading by 2 frames to 0.
A break becomes an extra important shot in wheelchair pool, especially because it's so much on the timing and the quality of the strike. And just look at that from Dave Beaumont. That's so good. It just shows how well he can cue a ball, because it's not like in quite a lot of breaks where you can pull your body through the break to generate that power. He's all upper body there, which means it's all timing. And that's a super break.
Yeah, flushes it, doesn't he? This time gets rewarded. Okay, how difficult is this layout? Well, you'd want to be reds for me. The yellow is very tricky, the one near the left centre pocket. The reds actually aren't too bad. The one red that needs some attention, you've got a red next to it, but the opening red isn't easy. It's quite high on it, and it'll be a very thin clip into the middle, so he's taking on a slightly harder colour set here. Maybe looking at a 3-ball plant. But where does the yellow go that he's playing? He's also very thin on it. He could play the cue ball off the yellow and try and get the cue ball into the red to make the plant as well, which would keep the yellow a little bit more in play. No, it's going to come down the table. So the 3-ball plant can be made off the yellow in the middle of the table as well. Also wonder whether the yellow in the middle of the table would play off the yellow and in, opening up the yellow near the pocket. So there's a few options there,
yeah,
but
that
it's
was
just
the shot
getting
I
to
looked
it.
at, actually. Yeah, that was the first one I saw. I think the plants. The thing is with the plant is the danger is the red covers the middle pocket. So if you need it again, you're in a little bit of bother. That looks like a wide. Yeah, didn't quite get the line. So it brings Gary Swift to the table.
Yeah, in a tricky area as well. Doesn't really want to pot the one left centre, because that's your ball to deal with the problem. But I suppose you could pot that and then use the one above the 8-ball to play off the yellow. No, he's going to try and slow it down. 8-ball to the yellow and make a mess of the table.
Pretty good shot. Get the sense Dave Beaumont's going to give it a go, though. 2-0 in front. He's got a lot less to lose. Can go cushion versus this yellow at the top of the table if he fancies. Just like that. Where's the cue ball? He's not hit that gap, has he?
Oh, so close to.
Oh,
so
he's nearly played
landing.
shot of the weekend.
Yeah.
He's nearly played an unbelievable shot. He's got 2 rolls off it.
And you have to say, because the shot that Gary played was actually subtle, but actually very good, moving that 8-ball, making that yellow on the left-hand side, the awkward one, making it very tough for Dave, and you know he's going to take something on. And with a shot that he's just played, he's made Gary and Reds more of a favourite.
Yeah, it was so close to the line. A little bit firmer, in fact. I think he nudged into the 8-ball. That's a really good shot, that, from Dave Beaumont. But he nudged into the 8-ball, and he's probably on the yellow with the right line to come back out again as well.
Yeah, it was nearly worked out brilliantly for him.
He's just not been left with loads to go at.
Bit of a containing shot. May have had half a thought of if he could drop that one in of doing something aggressive, but he equally knows he's got quite a bit of an advantage in this frame at the moment. He does need to be mindful of the match clock. He won't want this frame to go on too much longer. But that is a new skill. For the first time playing with Ultimate Pool.
A lot to take in, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, how about that? It's a fluke, but it's not a fluke that you gain any advantage out of. It couldn't have finished much worse, to be honest with you.
I think he meant it.
For his next trick.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's a good effort, mind. All right.
Now, Gary doesn't need to. He could think about still controlling it and slowing it down, but for me, time to go. These are all there. Slightly tricky opening one just because of the position of the cue ball, but controls it well. I'm assuming the 8-ball passes the yellow. If it doesn't, you could play the bottom red and play a little plant and just catch the 8-ball and nudge it into play, but I don't think it's required. Yeah, that one. He could have just put a little trace of left-hand side on that just to flick into the 8-ball, but it clearly goes, so no need. So for me, you need to leave one of the reds over left centre, and if that's sat right on the jaw, it's a little bit unlucky, but it's actually not too bad because you can play the other red off that red, and that will just pop into play, and then you want to be on the red at the bottom of the bottom right next. Maybe just a touch straight to get the cue ball across like you'd want to. Well, he's playing it clean, so it tells us he's fairly happy with this red. It looks awkward.
Yeah, it just depends on which angle you look at it. I think main table camera, I think, yeah, no worries. Overhead, I think, oh. I think he's okay.
The pattern's lovely, and if he isn't okay, then the fact that this red sat right on the jaw would be really unfortunate the way he's gone about it, because it's been a great pattern.
This is where we find out. Yeah, sailed in. Look at that. Lovely finish.
Never a problem.
Brilliant.
A little bit better, but still loses the cue ball.
Yeah, that was worst case scenario. Definitely a better contact.
Still a slightly sticky table here. Yellows look very tricky. Red left centre looks a problem. The rest of the reds are all kind of doable. You don't need the bottom right-hand corner pocket, so don't worry about that.
I think there's a route out on the red side.
Yeah, I prefer the reds to the yellows, but he likes the yellows here.
I think if you can play off the red to the bottom left here and land close to the cushion, I think you can feed the cue ball through the gap of the yellows and cut the red in.
Yellow balls in play.
That might solve the issue on reds, but they sees it another way, looking at yellows.
Yeah.
And that suggests to me that the bottom left pocket is a big one, because he's going to need it at some point on yellows, you would suggest.
Well, if he plays this yellow into right centre, I'd suggest it's worth playing it in off the red, just to put the red into a more dead area, which is to his advantage in the match situation. But he's gone big. He's gone to pot it and play the developing shot.
tell you what positional shot he's played here, because if he can play the plant here, he may not need the bottom left corner pocket.
Yeah, and he has half opened up the yellows near the left centre at the same time. Still very difficult. He is chasing a bad finish here.
He's not taking the plant, which just suggests to me, I wonder if that yellow goes.
I'm sure the yellow goes the way he played that, because he would definitely have played the plant if it didn't. And he's left a really nice angle on this. So does the yellow pass the red? That definitely goes. Does the yellow pass the red to left centre, as you can see there on the screen as well? He's definitely got one to right centre. And he's played this in such a way that this does go. Now, he may be a touch short of the straight. If he's straight, he can hold. He can actually play for right centre and top right corner. But if he's got an angle where he's past the straight, it makes things so much trickier, which it looks like he has. Okay, top right, top right. I think he's got just enough angle. Or top left, top left. He can come back for right centre. But I think he's on this top right.
I think he can go top right, right centre if he wants. He's got a little bit of angle. Or how he sees it, because he's got quite a small gap to hit for the 8 ball. So may look to just drop him behind this one to the right centre, give him a little bit more control. Oh, you got to make the pot first though. And actually he's missed it on the wrong side, because he wanted to pop this in the thinner side of the pocket. If anything, himself slightly straighter in on the yellow to the right middle.
Slightly easier counter here for Gary than the previous one that he took out so nicely.
Oh, he's fouled.
Oh dear.
Just caught the red with his wrist there.
No, I think he's okay.
Oh, he's okay?
Yeah,
oh,
he's okay.
Good.
He's just readjusting. He doesn't like it. He calls his extension looking for something else. First shot, the trickiest potentially here. This is big. This is, in the context of the match, this is huge.
Yeah, what a shot to take on.
Very, very difficult. Dave is on this yellow to top right, but the angle, he has plenty of angle, but he's got to find a good line to get on the yellow down the table.
And that's tough. So, part 1 achieved.
Yeah,
how about part 2?
Yeah. Just not quite.
Extension call.
Did all the right things there though. Waited, took his extension, used as much of the clock as possible. Let's keep an eye on that time, 1:25.
Yeah, he's got to go. May just get timed out here, Gary Swift. May not get that far.
Yeah, it's a good snooker, but it's not going to play with under a minute on the clock. Yeah, you can see him there as he pulls back. He's looking at the the big screen where there is a clock, he knows that his race will be run.
Good hit from Dave Beaumont, and that will pretty much be enough for the victory for him. A shake of hands between Gary Swift and Dave Beaumont, and it's a win for the Stokey. He advances into the ultimate pool.
Certainly a chance, depending on the layout of the balls here. Cue ball is okay. Split is congested. But
break is dry.
Yeah, he's had a touch there though, because the break's dry and he's left nothing on.
Yeah, threw his arm up there, Tony Southern, as if to say, oh, what can I do?
Yellows aren't horrendous here. Yeah, good pot. And all yellows actually potentially could work out here. I'm just trying to work the two together. I wondered whether the left-hand one of the two passes to the bottom left and then short position on the other one, but I don't think it does actually. So this yellow off the red would be the one just to open things up. Doesn't have to go, but also, and we talk about it a lot with clock management, if he does choose to go, try and be the only player that can win it.
Yes. Gotta pick your moments.
He plays the yellow off the yellow rather than yellow off the red, which the problem with that is it leaves another yellow down there as a bad ball. And unfortunately for him, the yellow that's gone up the table's not gone nicely either.
So 2 minutes, and Tony Southern fancies this. I think he's a little bit long on that.
He's got the one left centre. I wonder if he could slide it across the table and get underneath the first red in the top half of the table. 3/4 ball would allow him to get short position. No, he decided not to. I was thinking if you could get across to someone in the middle, you might be able to deal with the two in the top and then you can come on down.
We can play one by the 8 ball, I think.
I think this is pulling back for accepting a draw here in the shootout. Although, 1 minute 14, that yellow now goes. That's why Tony was tapping the table, because he's flicked the yellow on.
Oh, both going in helps. If he's on a yellow, and he is, he might have to go down earlier than he wanted to. This is on for David Beaumont.
Yeah, 2 going down helps with the speed of play because you've got 1 less ball to pop. It maybe doesn't help with the connections. This is back too far. He's really pinged that. He barely touched it and it zipped back.
I think he's a player who times the ball so well. You can
No
see it
doubt.
on his break, you can see it on his shots where he gets a little bit too much action. He must time the ball unbelievably. Oh, that was some effort. He'd have had a go. He'd have had a go. But they are going to settle for an 8-ball shootout. Pair of them have a little giggle, have a little look at the clock, and we are going the distance in this Ultimate Pool Wheelchair Showcase. We're going all the way. That's a lovely pot from Tony Southern to end the match.
Dave's going for bottom left. You tend to find with pool players is once they find the slot, they're normally very consistent with it. So the first one's big. Grimace, because that wasn't particularly close. Opportunity for Tony then.
Yeah, David's such a great potter that I'm a little bit surprised he was quite wide there. Not normally what we'd expect to see. Tony is very much from a snooker background. You fancy him in a potting contest, which this is, but it's also a test of nerve too. It's for 1-0 in the shootout.
Oh, that's heart of the pocket. Right in the heart of the pocket. And that was cued beautifully. He's found the spot.
Yeah, couldn't strike that any sweeter.
Is Dave coming across for a chat, or is he coming across for a change of sides? I think he might try this one from the left. So taking the 8-ball bottom right. No, he's going back.
I think with these guys, they're used to the idea of shootout. You sort of know your spot, don't you? Oh, much better from David Beaumont. Much more confident. Which, considering he missed his first one, was impressive. Now, if Tony Southern hits, he's at match point. You can see he goes to the exact same point. Same process, lines it up, takes aim and fires. Yeah, bang. 2-1.
And he has really got it in his sights now. He won't really worry about what's going on the other side. He knows he's won if it's missed, but he'll be sat there thinking, if I make the next one, I win. That's all that matters.
So Dave Beaumont must pot. If he doesn't, the Ultimate Pool Wheelchair Showcase winner is Tony Southern. And it is a wide for Dave Beaumont, which will give the victory.
Well, I've been lucky enough to commentate, David McNamara's win against Sean Chipperfield. I was on comments for that, and I was on comments for Neil Raybone against Dylan Leary earlier today. McNamara did have a bit of a funny time with his break early doors, and Sean Chipperfield had some great chances and failed to take them. But then David McNamara at the end, you've got to say that he did his job. It was pretty good value. Raybone's been outstanding all day though, Pierce.
Yeah, that was one heck of a game with Raybone and Dylan. Raybone always, like I said, he's been such a good player for such a long time. So many big titles as he's come through everything. Still waiting to really get that Ultimate Pool trophy just under his belt. Similarly with Deeds, we've seen him in a Pro Series final previously. Another class act.
So who's your pick in this match then, Piers?
I don't know, mate. I think I'm probably going to have to give the edge to Neil, but it really wouldn't surprise me if Dave was the victor in this either. I think experience and everything with Neil, and we run deep in the tournament. Having said that, we're talking about a guy, like I say, who's been to a Pro Series final already. I don't want to discredit. I think this is going to be a tight one.
No, I have to agree with you there, Piers.
See a great opening opportunity here for David McNamara. It's a really well struck break. He's overly sure what's a little bit of a.
I think it was a clock issue there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Not sure.
Not be a big issue anyway.
No, play will continue, thankfully. We've not been made redundant yet, mate.
Not yet, mate. What a day we've had, Tony.
Wow, I mean, we've both been going from table to table, backwards and forwards, with different teams.
Absolutely.
How's your day been, anyway?
Yeah, it's been good, mate. We've my good pal Declan has he's in another quarter-final. He's in the session right after this one, so it's been nice to see Deck with a bit of form.
Yeah, good win against John Rowe, 7-1.
Superb. 5 off the break. You know, if Decky in that form's a bit imperious for people.
Yeah, I was having a chat with him earlier, and he said he feels like he's playing well enough to win the event, and he said he hasn't felt like that for a while.
I'm a big believer in the mental side of the game. I'm huge in terms of body language. Deck at the minute, I don't want to speak too soon, but just something a little bit different this time.
Yeah. McNamara making short work of this opening frame by the looks of it.
Yeah, and this is exactly the start that Dave's going to want to have right off the break. Not giving Neil any table time. And that 8-ball means that Dave's settled rightly into this match. Slight change in the normal schedule. See both semi-finals and the final of Pro Series 9 tomorrow night live here on Ultimate Pool TV. So much going on around this arena, Tony, too. Huge Challenger Series in action, a Women's Series in action. The race for number 1 and everything is well and truly on.
Absolutely. Talking of number 1s, Tom Cousins will be kicking off very shortly against Cameron Tolley to try and book his place into these quarterfinals. Also, Cormac Kerr's playing Ryan Marcus, who's another player having an incredible tournament. Ryan Marcus, my word. How well's he playing?
He was an absolute animal against Sean Story. 7 finishes, 7 dishes.
Somebody said to me that Sean walked out the arena, and somebody said to him, "Unlucky, Sean." He said, "Unlucky." He said, "It'd just been nice to have a shot."
It's exactly what he said. It was actually me.
Oh, was it you?
It was me. We heard firsthand. Sean just said nothing unlucky about that. It would have been nice to have a shot.
Yeah.
Ryan with 7 visits and 7 dishes, 7-0. He was also imperious against Luke Gilbert last night. Same idea. 7-3 victory, 7 finishes. Cormac with a good win over Carl O'Donoghue too.
Yeah, well, those 2 matches will be underway in roughly about 10 minutes on tables 2 and 3 respectively, as we are already underway here. But this is the first quarter final. 2 already set, which will be Rob Warren and Declan Brennan, your pal, and Phil Harrison will be playing against Liam White, who dispatched Greg Batten earlier.
Yeah, I did the Liam game against Lewis Roberts in the round before, and Liam was excellent too. Very measured. I called the start of this tournament. I said I think we're either going to see a new name on the Pro Series, or we're going to see a name we haven't seen for a while.
I thought you were going to see a new name or an old name then. I thought, well, you're hedging your bets well there, aren't you? But anyway, this is just what the doctor ordered for Neil Raybone. I just don't think he was comfortable where he putting a hand on the rub around that middle pocket, but
this for a place in the quarterfinals. And this match back with us on the main table is for a place in the semi-finals.
Well, it's all going wrong now for Neil Raybone. How often do we see it though? You get a couple of mistakes early doors, you punish, and then nothing goes your way. You never get another sniff.
Yeah, I think we call that the pool gods, Tony.
Somebody else said that as well. I didn't realise we had pool gods, but there you go. They never liked me back in my day.
I don't believe that for a second.
You believe what you like. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, Deeds wanted a little flick on the red there.
He did indeed.
He'll not mind too much. The way he's been playing, I'm sure he'll find a way.
Well, I don't think he's going to stop attacking now, is he? Oh, what a shot. Played a skill shot there, parted his ball, knocked in Raybone's red, and now has freed up that pocket. We'll have another look at this. Great control of cue ball.
Oh, what a good shot that is. he's missed the ball.
Well, he's human. Just came near side there with that double.
Well, come on, Neil. Let's see a little bit of that form that's brought you this far.
Well, one thing with Neil Raybone, he's not going to give up. He doesn't have that in his makeup at all. He's a fighter, battler. I know it's a cliche, but one frame at a time and all that palaver.
Yeah, there's plenty of time left in this match clock. He's been very aggressive there. I suppose he feels that he has to.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. He knows that David McNamara is going to go game at every opportunity, so I don't think he wants to give the table back over to him if he can possibly help it.
Yeah, but he's got to believe that if Dave can win 5 in a row, then so can Neil. It's a really fine cut. Where's it? Oh. It's been okay. The yellow's just blocked the path, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. He's got to go down and come up again, but he can play into space here. Yeah, he's played that nice.
Lovely shot.
Looking like he's going to have to push forward, probably use that yellow as a natural buffer. Just like that.
It's got a bit too much angle than he'd like. I mean, could he pot this and just fire the cue ball into the yellow that's over the middle and use that to bring the cue ball down, knocking it in? Or does he have to screw up to the top of the table? Ooh, even going up the table, this looks tricky.
It makes it difficult because if he does go into the yellow and he doesn't, yeah, he's coming around the ankles. He's got to take it long. Just wants to slow up a little bit.
Well, he hit it harder. He'd have been on it in the middle, but this to keep the dream alive. He's missed that.
Oh,
well, there's going to be a chance now for David McNamara to hoist himself into the semis.
That extra roll that the cue ball took just into the cushion made that very missable. It's hard to judge the angle of that, and what a good shot that is.
Well, he's got a big pocket in here as well into this middle.
Yeah, he's gone after his work really, really quickly here. It's really clever, really confident from David McNamara.
He's got to keep the cue ball.
He's okay.
Ooh, just a knee trembler.
Yeah, he's not too bad. Given where the 8-ball is, he just has to make sure that he gives this pot 100%. Oh, he's a little bit. Oh, he's okay.
Wow. Incredible.
And when it's going for you, it's going for you. He doesn't have to do anything here. David McNamara with 2 simple roll-ins. And a very, very confident display, Tony, you have to say.
Absolutely. In it goes, and it's David McNamara.
Yeah, delighted to be here. Well, I'd much rather be out there. But
I was about to say, yeah.
Unfortunately, my weekend was cut short thanks to Josh Kemp, but yeah.
It's not been many times in recent events that it's got to a quarter-final we've not seen you in it, so you're probably due one. But yeah, super performance by Josh yesterday. It was a great match between you two, as it often is.
Yeah, I guess then Josh, I don't think he played well against Phil, he was saying this morning, but anyway, the standard is so high, and yeah, unless you're on your game every match, you're not going to win. But yeah, so it was Rob who's in first. I'm not actually sure who broke first there. Rob, was it?
It was Rob, yeah. It was a good break as well.
So he comes up, he's a little bit of work to do with the one on the left, but yeah, if he can just play this with left hand side, it doesn't matter if he flicks the red or the yellow. Once he clears the path, like he could flick this red and stick it to the rail and be on the other one, but maybe I'd imagine he's going to try and move the yellow and he's going to be on the one to the opposite corner, is what he'd be thinking. And he hasn't. Yeah, it's just the side hasn't taken off the cushion there. Super slidey cushions, but he's still okay. He's in decent shape here. He can come around the back of it if he wants to, or he can go one cushion and into it. Probably go the one cushion.
Yeah, he was so far off that. It makes me question if he was even trying to play the shot you suggested, and that's not come out nice.
No. Yeah, he needed to play that a bit pacier, I guess. I think he was trying to play the yellow there. Didn't really make sense to go into the red, but yeah, I'd be disappointed not to have got this one out.
May go close to a kick shot here. What's he thinking? Looking for a little cock tat. Not to be. Brings Decky to the table, and this is manna from heaven, really, if you're Declan Brennan.
Yeah, and I think he can play a nice snooker here on his first shot and just open up his 2 awkward balls. Just run the white ball to the side rail here, tuck in. A couple other scores in the last 16 at the minute. We've got Cormac Kerr 3-2 up against Ryan Marcus, and then Tom Cousins is leading Cameron Tolley 2 frames to 1.
Yeah, the Island of Ireland going well again on the Pro Series. Almost feels like a bit of a shame, I'm sure, for some fans from across the Irish Sea, that Cormac and Ryan both going well, have drawn each other at this stage. But whoever does make it through will be up against a challenge in the quarter-final. They face the winner of Cam Tolley and Tom Cousins. He's just biding his time here in this one.
Landed a little tricky. He's got a red to the middle, but he is hampered here. Maybe he can just cue past it. You see Deck is sporting the glove this weekend.
You always dig him out for that. So it was an edition in Morocco, and I think I just wonder if he's a slightly superstitious bloke, and obviously brought him some success there, and it stayed warm, so it stayed on his hand ever since. Having said that, I will say, even though it is pretty Baltic out on the promenade this weekend, it's pretty warm in the
It's
in
warm,
the venue.
yeah. It's not really like sweaty warm. It's just, yeah, I guess it is warm. It's not the most well air-conditioned hotel I've ever been in, but it's definitely been worse than this.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Oh, it's a beautiful shot.
What a shot, Rob Warren.
He's not on this though. I don't think it's going to be another.
I think he can turn it maybe though.
Oh, that is tough. I think it's his best option, but yeah, it's just tricky. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Oh.
What an out from Rob Warren. Those last 2 shots were pretty special from the whacker.
You know, if you played to have the white where you had it, you'd be happy. And then
yeah,
sometimes you should be better. You know, you're going into it with a negative mindset.
With another big break. Didn't get an amazing split, but he's still got plenty of action. He's still got a ball home, and he gets first go in this one. It is tricky.
Yeah, I just noticed. Oh, he's missed that by a long way. He's struggling. I just noticed as well that he changed break cue on that shot.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, good spot. He was playing with a new break cue, I think, this weekend. So I wonder if he's just reverted back. Rob's going to have to take these red off his hands. It was a tricky opening red, but it was
you know,
certainly a gettable one for a player Declan's ability.
He's got the natural angle here to just play the one in the pocket and disturb the black, and if that comes out right, it should be a good chance. It can definitely go wrong. And he's missed the cannon. Is he on anything? He's not. He's got a very thin cut into the left-hand corner, but that's about it. You know, and he's still going to face that issue with the black tied up to the red.
Yeah, that's a shake of the head for Rob Warren. That tells you everything you need to know. He's had a little look at this red to the bottom right. I don't think he can see it. It might be a cushion first sort of job. But where's the cue ball going after that? Will be the cut in the middle. This is tough. I bet he can't believe he's overcut that.
And you know what? He was actually perfect on the one on the right-hand side to play the cannon then. So Declan really, you feel, really needs to take advantage in this frame.
Yeah, and he took a breather at the end of the third frame, which almost certainly meant leaving the arena, recomposing himself, giving himself a bit of a G up, threw everything into the break, and he missed his first pot, and all that sort of pep talk just dies down a fraction. Now is the time to switch on and go again. He's had visits now in all 4 frames of this quarter-final.
Second prize. He's just caught the knuckle and come back up onto this one. It's getting tricky though, because that 8-ball, I'm not really sure how he's planning to go about it. He might just stun this on and off the cushion. He seems to be going up the table.
Oh, it's a great shot.
That's a very, very good shot. Under pressure there as well, not being where he wanted to be, but
that's an excellent shot from Declan Brennan. Really, really needed that.
Needs another one.
Yeah, perfect. This yellow must now go to the bottom right. Wasn't originally sure if it did, but Dec's position there has told us. So dotting the I's and crossing the T's now for Declan Brennan. He's done all the hard work.
He's fine. He can follow top it through and play the ball to the left centre. I'd like to do a little bit further. He might play this to the corner now.
Yeah, depends how he lines it up. He may well be dead straight on this.
Going to the centre. And he's got it.
Yeah, and it goes heart of the pocket. He needed that.
Praying to the gods he can get a ball here. Dry on his last one. Does not want to be dry this time. Oh no. He will be fuming.
Those are the ones that make you feel truly sick.
How is this ball not gone to the centre? Oh my god.
One at the top left as well, looked like it was home, and you can just watch the facials of Declan Brennan. He knew.
That is heartbreaking. I mean, for a player not to get a ball there, I mean, Rob is going to be licking his lips at these yellows.
Yeah, these should be gone. And he has to break in the next to potentially go and win the match. There's a chance that that was Declan's last shot at the table.
I presume he's going to play the double on that yellow. Or is he just... Yeah, I think he might be leaving it as his last ball to double the yellow and come down for the 8-ball. This has gone awkward. He's gone the wrong way about these. He should never be leaving this as his last ball, I don't think. He's going to have to play a good shot in a minute.
Yeah, this feels like a bit of a wind-up, doesn't it? He's going to cue this beautifully.
Still got his extension here. Yeah, it's a big shot. Needs to play this with left-hand side to drift down. Needs to be a really good cueing here. And he's played that brilliantly.
Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect.
He's a super curious Rob when he's on song.
Yeah, he really is, isn't he? You never really feel too worried about him making a pot. It sometimes is his cue ball can be a little bit loose when he's not maybe at his best, but when he's at his best, there are a few better than Rob Warren. He really is a super player. I think at times probably doesn't get the credit that he maybe deserves.
Yeah, to be fair, he's had a lot of deciding for him losses earlier in the season. You know, to maybe just come up short. And you know, they're the difference between going, I suppose, to the latter end of a tournament. Yeah,
he's had runs as well. I mean, almost certainly he's been to an alternate pool final, but I'm sure he has. Lost to one of Mick's wins last year, but yeah. Rob's there or thereabouts in the rankings, currently 16th. And he's sort of...
He's definitely...
he's consistent without ever quite breaking through.
Yeah, he's definitely well capable of lifting the title here this weekend. I love watching Rob play because he wears his heart on his sleeve. You never really know what you're going to get, but...
well, in the 8 events previous to this one...
And look at these reds.
This year, Rob has had 4 quarterfinals. Wow. It just shows you that he's good in it. If you're good enough to get to a quarterfinal in this event, you're good enough to go and win the tournament. For me, if you can string together the wins required. Oh, Robert's going to foul there. No, extension was called. And this is to win it, and it would be a big win for Rob as well. This match will face Dave McNamara in the semi-final.
You know, he's got away with one there. I don't think that's what he played. I think he played to be on his other red. But he's perfect. Yeah, he just needs one pot. Probably got a bit more angle here than he wanted to, but I don't think he had the best angle on his last one to get close. So he needs... Oh, he's going for the left pocket here. He obviously didn't think... And it's just...
the slow death.
Yeah, I thought that was sticking up.
Painful for Declan Brennan, but Rob Warren is your winner